What's good, everybody? It is good to be back. I missed you all so much. Um, I know the last video I dropped was a home workout video, and I hope that you all enjoy. As you guys can see already, the background of this video is a little different, right? So I'm actually going to be doing more of my YouTube videos here in this room, and I have my mouse. I said my mouse, my nice leather couch here, you know, and everything. So I like this backdrop more, and it's really clean, and I hope that you guys enjoy it when I do my little sit down and talking with you all. Right. So we're gonna get straight into it. You guys can already tell by the title of what this video is going to be, and we're going to discuss Biden's plans for home ownership and how he plans to reward people for doing bad and chastise and do negative things for people who are actually doing good. So we're gonna discuss that, and I'm gonna go through this article from Newsweek, and we're just gonna jump straight into it. So Biden raises costs for home buyers with good credit to help risky borrowers. So looking at that should already be an alarming title for most people who are, viewing and reading this article. So home buyers with good credit scores will soon be facing higher mortgage fees as the Biden administration seeks to close the racial homeownership gap and get more first-time and low-income buyers through the door. So just by that paragraph alone, um, we know that basically, if you're a person with good credit, meaning that you pay your credit card bills on time, you pay your debts on time, you don't have anything pretty much in collections, and you manage your finance in a very good, positive way, that because of you doing such good things and being a responsible person, that you are now going to get some tax levied at you because of your just because of your organization, the way you do your thing. On the other side, if you are someone who is having difficulties in terms of paying your debts and having bad credit or low credit, because maybe you're irresponsible with your credit card, or you're irresponsible with the loans you have. And I understand that things happen, right? And people who do have low credit score do, and have bad financial habits, they do need help, right? So they need assistance, of course. And I don't even necessarily think that what Biden is doing in assisting these people is a bad thing. I think the way he's going about it is negative, right? So let's continue to read some more. Starting in May, a new federal rule will append the current structure of the loan level price adjustment. Homebuyers with a good credit score could see their monthly mortgage payment rise by over $60 a month, while riskier borrowers will get more favorable mortgage terms because their fees were reduced. It's a move the Federal Housing Finance Agency hopes will address housing affordability challenges in the U.S., but it comes under scrutiny for being unfair and potentially ineffective. So basically, what they're doing is they're going to add some fees to people who are with who are taking care of business, that do have good credit, and basically manage their finance effectively. They're going to increase their fees to about $60 a month, right? And because they can't increase, or they can't decrease the fees for everyone, right? Because then that will affect their financial return, right? So they're not going to be making enough money back. So they can't just have it even and fair for everyone to just decrease the fees all across the board, right? For people with good credit and for people with bad credit. But because that will affect the bottom line, and the bottom line, let me tell you what it is, guys. It's money. It's not to help no one. It's always money. So when they decrease it for one part, they have to increase it for the other. So what they're doing is, they're decreasing people who have bad credit they're lowering their costs and everything to, for them to be able to afford a home. And which I understand, right? Home ownership is, you know, is the leading or the one of the leading uh, cause of having, wealth in America, right? Of having a high net worth, and this is what has been kind of taken away from minorities, right, back in the past, and that's the reason why a lot of other were able to build wealth. Um, so home ownership is one of the leading factors in building wealth because of the equity that you get from owning the home. So yes, I do agree that other demographics, they do have a head start just based upon that. And minorities will need assistance, of course, in order to get that equity, right? So but it's just in the way that the Biden administration is doing things just isn't correct. So you're 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 punishing one demographic who's doing things the right way, and then you're praising the other, right? Or you're doing good for the other, right? So that's the problem we have in society today. This is literally the entire problem. No one knows what is bad and no one knows what is good, right? So good is bad and bad is good. Everything is upside down. And we see that just in the way that, you know, in just this article that we're actually reading today, right? So let's continue reading. In the short term, this may increase home ownership among the targeted group, but I'm afraid it could decrease home ownership among the middle class. Jerry Howard, CEO of National Association of Home Builders, told Newsweek. I'm not sure that we're not robbing Peter to pay Paul here, right? So if the middle class feel like they're being slighted based upon their good deeds and what they're not even good deeds, just based upon doing things correctly, for themselves, if they feel like they're being slighted, then why would they want to pursue home ownership anymore? And this may even be what they're trying to do. Maybe they're trying to persuade people to not do home ownership. I don't know why, but you know, why would they choose to buy a home instead of just renting a home and just going by their business that way, and not have to focus on certain fees and that's already in home ownership already, and you're adding more fees on top of that, right? Just because they actually take care of their business and their credit, you're adding more fees upon that, right? So only about 25% of home buyers with the Federal Housing Administration loans are people of color. According to the White House, Black and Hispanic people on average have fewer savings to use as a down payment on a home and tend to have lower credit scores, according to David Stevens, former CEO of Mortgage Banker Association and a former FHA commissioner during the Obama administration. So he's just basically giving us some facts here based upon demographics and just that, you know, home buyers of minorities are, less than white people or whatever other demographics they're discussing here, right? There's only about 25% of home buyers are made of people of color, right? Which is not a lot. And I do see the issue here. And I know that you guys also see the issue here, of course. But again, this is just not the right way to go about things. So, um, yeah. So basically, this could be a problem, right? The efforts to get more low-income Americans and Americans of color into homeownership is essentially being subsidized by borrowers who have better credit scores and who can contribute more to their down payment. And that's the problem, right? So it feels like the people who are doing things correctly has to hold everyone else who's doing things incorrectly on their back, and that is not right, and and this is the thing. I do feel like, and I do believe, and I really truly believe that people who are doing well, if you know if they can, of course, it's nothing wrong with helping others. You know what I'm saying? And that's what taxes are for. Taxes are, placed upon people in order to use that money to fix up their communities, to fix up the school, to pay teachers, to fix up roads and things like that. So helping people who are in need is always, it's a positive thing, but it just goes on, it just depends on the way that you're doing something, right? So again, they cannot decrease it for everyone, right? They cannot decrease the payment on home ownership on fees for everyone, because the point of the matter is they are worried about their own bottom line, and they're worried about money. I'm telling you, they're worried about money, because if it was really about getting people more affordability for their homes, they would decrease it for everybody, for everyone, because everyone can use a little bit of help, no matter if you're in the middle class or whatnot. Everybody needs assistance, you know, and you can't make it seem like the middle class don't need assistance, that they're just superhuman, you know, that they have everything figured out. No, these are people who take time out of their day in order to look at their credit, in order to pay their bills, in order to do things appropriately, you know. And again, this is not shaming people who have bad credit, because I've been there, you know, and I know people who are there. It's not shaming them, because it's all about what you're doing, the efforts you're putting in order to get your credit better, the time that you're putting in to save more, you know, the skills that you're obtaining. What are you doing on your free time? You know, are you studying? Are you going to Coursera to learn some stuff? Are you going to Udemy to buy some courses? You know, what are you doing? What's your YouTube algorithm looking like? Is it a bunch of nonsense, or are you looking at things that can actually be useful to you? And that's the thing, guys. We can't keep moving like this, and society cannot keep, you know, moving along in this way. Um, we have to find a better way to accommodate others in need, right? And you know, we have to come. You have to put an end to the confusion of people who are doing good are the ones getting punished, and the people who are doing bad are the ones getting praised.